Welcome back to the Global Local Top Tips, and today Christmas is coming and we're getting ready with our Christmas veg. Now, one of the major things that are generally overlooked with our Christmas dinner is our vegetables. I'm going to show you some beautiful cauli and broccoli with a cheese sauce today and some glazed butter carrots with brown sugar. Perfect for any Christmas dinner. Let's get stuck in. So to get started, let's get our cauli and broccoli prepped. So here, I've just got my broccoli florets, and I've just made sure they're relatively the same size. You just want to cut them up. So they're generally just the same size. We'll just put them aside for a second. Now with our cauliflower, we just want to break it into florets, and you're basically taking off all the green leaves. And you just break it all up. And again, try and keep them generally the same size if you can, so they all cook evenly. Give them both a good wash in salted water, drain them off. We'll go to the next step. The trick with this dish is keeping the cauliflower and broccoli as fresh as possible. So we're going to blanch and refresh it, meaning we're going to dip it into boiling hot water and then plunge it straight into ice water so it keeps its color. So, boiling water, rapid boil, and what we're going to do is we're going to put our cauliflower straight in. Till it's completely covered. Put a lid on top, come back to the boil. Now you want to keep an eye on it, because once it comes back to the boil, you want to take it straight out and straight into that ice water. Now my cauliflower is back to the boil. I've got my pot of ice water here, and I'm going to go straight from one to the other. And this makes it cool down straight away, making sure that you don't overcook it. If I took this out and I just left it in a bowl, it would continue cooking. And remember, I want to bake this again with a beautiful cheese sauce on top. And I don't want it to disintegrate into mush. Now, my water's still boiling, and so now what I want to add is a little bit of bicarb soda, just for the broccoli. And this is great for any green veg, beans, cauliflower, doesn't matter. Brussels sprouts. The bicarb soda, just the smallest bit, half a teaspoon, will help it stay green, and I mean bright green. So into my boiling water, I've got half a teaspoon, and it goes straight in, and then I add in my broccoli. Straight back on with my lid, bring it back to the boil. Now my broccoli is back to the boil. Now we want to put it straight into the ice water with that cauliflower. And look at the color. The color hasn't faded at all. It's actually got brighter because of that bicarb soda. You can leave that cauli and broccoli in there until we're ready with our sauce. Now for my sauce. I've got some milk, and this is full fat milk. Try and get it all into the pot if you can. There you go. And we're going to bring this up gently, just on a medium heat, and then we're going to thicken it with BURRE MANYAY. Now my milk is just coming to simmer, and I want to add in some salt, and quite a nice bit of salt here too, maybe about a teaspoon, and the same with pepper. You could actually just as well use white pepper for this one if you didn't want to see the little black specks in the sauce. Now, we've used BURRE MANYAY loads of times before in our videos rather than a roux, and the reason for it is I can be more particular about the thickness of my sauce, and it's far easier to judge. So I've got my BURRE MANYAY here, which is 50% butter and 50% flour. And I'm just going to add in, say, 2 teaspoons at a time. And I'm just going to let it just dissolve in there and thicken that sauce. I'm also conscious that I'm also going to add in cheese, which will also thicken the sauce up, so I don't want it crazy thick either. Keeping it stirring it all the time now, because you don't want it to burn. And if you do happen to burn, unfortunately, you can't use it. In my younger days as a chef, I was making 200 litres of this for a number of weddings, and I walked away and I burnt the whole lot. Still cringe just thinking about it. Now, as we've talked about before, like with a BURRE MANIÉ, you need to, when you add it, you need to let it cook out for at least 4 to 6 minutes to cook out that floury taste. It's one of the differences with a roux, because you cook the roux first and then add in the liquid. It's the opposite way with a BURRE MANIÉ. Now, I could have all added in a studded onion here while I was heating up that milk. I could have placed an onion in there with some cloves in it just to add more flavour. And that's a really traditional thing to do. But I didn't want to overpower the sauce or the vegetables. I think 2 more will do it. Generally 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of flour, and half a litre of milk is the consistency of the sauce. Just so you have a reference. So just lowering the heat now. And you just want it to simmer just for 4 to 5 minutes, just to cook out that floury taste. The first 2 years of my apprenticeship, I spent preparing and cooking vegetables. And it sounds trivial, and at the time it felt trivial, but there's so much to learn. And every young chef wants to be the head chef and cook these amazing dishes, but there has to be a base to your skill, and you have to learn the trust of your kitchen brigade. And that takes some time. And when you burn 200 litres of milk, it tends to set you back just a little bit. Right, I've cooked out my sauce, and now I want to add in some cheese. And you could use any cheese here. You could use blue cheese, you could use bries, you could use cheddars. I'm using mozzarella here. And you could use a mixture of all, you know, hard and soft cheeses. And it just added so much more flavour. Take it off the heat and let it rest just for a minute or 2 while we prepare our vegetables. Now, I've drained off my collie and broccoli, and look at the colour. Look at the colour that we've kept with just blanching and refreshing. Now we want to place these in our bowl, and we just want to mix them up a little bit. Now, really important to use a bowl that's oven proof here. You could as well use earthenware dishes, or you could use a good old baking tin. But I'm going to present it in this bowl. And if you want to check if your bowl is oven proof, generally will say so on the bottom of it. You do not want a bowl that's not oven proof in the oven, because it will crack and break. So that's all in there. It's all presented nicely. I'm just going to arrange these last little bits just so that all the florets are facing up. So you just get a nice coat on that. And how beautiful does that look? Now, we've got our sauce. We're just going to pour it over. And just stay a little bit out from the edges, just so you don't make a mess. And now we're going to just top the rest with cheese. And beautiful thing about this dish, and it's why I love using it at Christmas time, is because you've got so much going on Christmas morning. You're heating up your Christmas pudding, you're getting your turkey ready and your stuffing, your potatoes. But this dish can be done the day before. You can blanch and refresh your vegetables, you can make your cheese sauce, you can have it all in the bowl, and you can put this then in the fridge, leave it overnight, and then in the morning time, pop it into the oven. It'll take about 20 minutes to heat up at 180. Gratinates on the top, and we're ready to go. So it's one less thing that you need to do Christmas Day. Along with my cauli and broccoli and cheese sauce, I want to do some butter glazed carrots. So what we need here is some carrots, and I just want to cut the tops and tails off them. And I'm not even going to peel these. I'm just going to wash them really, really well. Make sure there's no little bits of dirt on it, because these carrots are really, really tender. And I'm just going to cut them into blocks. Now you can do this, you can cut them into battens, you know, you can cut them into slices. It just doesn't really matter which way you present them. It will affect the cooking time, so I'm just using just these medium-sized carrots. Try and get them into the tin. And then I'm going to cook them for about 25 minutes. And again, I like this dish because I can do this the day before. I can have it in there, I can have my glaze on there, and I can put them in the fridge, and then in the morning time just give them a stir around and into the oven. It's just, again, it's one less thing you're going to have to do. I'm going to melt down some butter, and again I'm using salted butter here. You could use unsalted and just add some more salt into the dish. So I've got my carrots, I'm going to put my butter in, just throwing it around. I'm going to add in my brown sugar and just sprinkle this on top. And again, everything's going to be in the description below. Pepper, salt, and vegetable oil. Just maybe 2 tablespoons. And the reason why I'm putting that in is butter adds flavour, but oil stops it from burning. It's got a higher cooking temperature than butter, and you want the two of them to work well together. So you're gonna just toss them around there. Now cover the top with just a little aluminium foil, and again, it doesn't need to seal it. I just want to protect them a little bit from the heat. I'm going to put these in the oven at 180 for 25 minutes. Now my veggies are done, they're out of the oven, and I just want to finish off these carrots. So I've just got some roughly chopped parsley, and that all goes in there. And then we'll just give them a little squeeze around the pan, and then straight into a bowl. Pouring just a little bit of that juice on top. You can see my cauli and broccoli gratinated just right. Got my carrots, my brown sugar, my butter, and now all I need to do is get everything else ready. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment down below any videos you'd like to see in the future. Hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon. We'll see you soon. If you enjoy our videos and you'd like to support us in the future, please consider joining our Patreon group. There's some awesome extras, Q&A sessions, our upcoming cookbooks, and some unseen videos.